Alright MC Kids, so we are doing another Draw Right Now video, and we're doing the faces. Like I mentioned in the last video, we're going to do some faces. I hope you guys enjoy this. This one is probably the most difficult so far that we are doing, but we're going to start with the eyes, as you can see right here. I'm going to go through a bunch of different possibilities, so you could draw eyes in a ton of different ways. So I'm going to show you them here. I'm going to go from eyes to the nose to the mouth to hair, and then at the very end we're going to see what type of faces we can put together and make. So we're going to start with the first one. The first one's pretty easy. If you have drawn or if you've done numbers before, this one will be pretty easy. And all you have to do is you just go like this. You make a 6, and then you make another 6. Okay? Now these may not look like eyes, but when we do a full face, they certainly will. And so you can either fill in these completely, and if you can kind of tell, these are like the eyes, and you kind of have like the eyebrow almost right there. Or here's another option. You could do the 6, you could do another 6, okay? And you can fill it in, but leave a little bit just as an option. You can do that. Sometimes that helps a little bit. It makes it look like light is reflecting off of the eye. So those are one of the options that you can do. Another one is you just draw 2 circles that do not touch. That circle, I don't know what just happened, but there's 2 circles, and then you just make a little dot inside, right? And you have eyes. Really, really easy, really simple. And as a second step, you can add, you have the 2 eyes, you could just add little eyebrows. So it's really cool. You can see how just changing it up slightly, doing small little things, can add a lot. Okay, so here's another one. So let's just say maybe you have glasses. Here's an easy way. There are tons of ways to do glasses. I obviously cannot cover all of them, but here's one of them. You guys ready? So we're going to do a little circle. Boom. You guys got that? You're going to draw another little circle. Oop. That one's a little wonky, but it will still work just fine. And you're going to connect your 2 circles with a little arch, kind of like a macaroni. If you like mac and cheese, I love mac and cheese. You're just going to take a little macaroni and connect them. See how it kind of arches, right? And then you're going to put a little dot right there, a little dot right there. And then finally, you're going to take a line up and to the right and arch it down. And you have glasses, just like that. It's almost like a candy cane shape right there. Just like that. Again, you could add eyebrows if you really wanted to. That's an option. Of course, when we draw a face, you're most likely going to have some sort of ear right there, and an ear is pretty much always just a little swoop. You could make the glasses square. Just a simple little change, like that. So you could really do a lot of different things with glasses. Another one is a little more complicated than these ones, is you're going to connect the eyes. Okay, so you're going to draw the first eye, and then you're going to touch that eye and go bloop, 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 like that. Okay, and you're going to draw a big eye in there on both of them. Okay, now you can fill it all the way in, like so. Maybe you want eyelashes, you can add some eyelashes, just little lines like that. The other option is you do that same thing, and you do a circle, but you're not going to fill it in all the way. You're going to do like what we did here. You're going to kind of fill it in, but leave a little bit open, okay? So you can do that. Again, you can just add some eyebrows, and it just adds a whole nother little bit to it. And then finally, as just the last little thing to keep in mind with eyes, is you can position where the pupil, which is this little dot here, is going to go. So for example, let's take this one right here. We'll just draw 2 circles that do not touch, and you could go like this. And all of a sudden you've got a crazy eye. Ah! They're going crazy. Another one you could do, we'll use this one right here. We'll go like this. We connect them, and maybe this person's looking over there. They're looking that way because they're, I don't know, maybe they see something. Maybe they see something that's confusing them. That is how you guys can draw eyes. Practice these. practice the sixes, get really familiar with that. You know, maybe you just fill them in all the way, because once we can do this, once we can get the eyes down, we can go to the next stage and eventually get a full face drawn. So anyone can do this. Maybe even get your parents to do this with you. Let's go on to the next one. All right, here we are. We're gonna draw a bunch of different noses. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one because these ones are super simple. So I'm gonna show you a couple things, but you guys can use your creativity and make your own noses and things like that, okay? So the first one, you guys ready? This is super complicated. Here it is. A swoosh. Yep, just like that. It's like a U. Remember, you know, the letter U? But I just turned it on its side. And another way to just add a little something to that is if you do another U on its side and you just make a little arch, and now you've got a nostril. Just like that. Now if you're confused on kind of what I'm doing, my nose is aiming this way because all of our faces are going to be facing a certain direction for this video. If you want them to face the other way, then you could just simply turn the nose and draw a nostril like that and just change which way it's facing. So again, that's one nose that we're going to be doing. There's so many different ways to do this, but these are the ones that I'm going to be showing. Another one is even easier than this, maybe, if you like drawing straight lines. Bloop, bloop. Boom, 2 lines. That's what drawing 2 lines sounds like, if you're wondering. Bloop, bloop. And that's one way. Again, if you want to just add a little bit of detail, you just draw those same 2 lines, and you could draw a nostril. Right? You can kind of just see how this could be a part of the nose. If you include the eyes with it, you will see that later on. Right, so that's one way. Another more subtle one, a little more subtle than this, is you're going to draw a line that slants down and curves in. Just like that. It's almost like a candy cane now that's upside down. And again, just like the other ones, you can do that and add a little nostril. Okay? And then this last one, we'll just make this one a little fancier. It's going to go off of this one. It's going to be a straight line cut back and a little arch right there. Okay? And that little arch just kind of makes it look more like a nostril. But again, if you want to do that same thing, you want to do that, you could just fill that in, and you've got yourself a more nostril-y looking nose. So again, there's so many different ways to do this. Maybe you're making a robot and you just want like a square nose, and you know, maybe you want to, or it's a person, but you just want them to have a square nose anyway. There's a lot of ways to do this. You guys can use your creativity, but practice just drawing these shapes. Practice this over and over again, so that way when we get to the final part, you're going to be able to do each part with the greater picture in mind, okay? And when we're able to do all this, we can make tons and tons of different faces. So that is how to draw a nose. We're going to jump into the next one. Okay, here we are. We have the mouth as our third part to the face drawing. So this one, and again, really all of them, have an infinite amount of possibilities. You could just do whatever you wanted. So again, I'm only showing a few of the possibilities. And as you continue to do this, you're going to find that you come up with your own ideas, your own faces, and all of those things. So I'm going to give you guys ideas, but remember, you can do whatever you want. So here we go. Here's the first one. Are you guys ready? This may be the most insane, most complicated. That's it. It's just a little face. It's if the person was just had no emotion, that could be their mouth. That right there. It's that easy. Let's say though that we want to make them happier. So we just take that line and we curve it up. And maybe we add a little arch because their cheek is curling, right? Maybe we want them even happier. So we take that and we draw a line that's diagonal. And we do that. Now here's something you can do with these that adds a little bit, and it's just so simple. You do the same thing, right? You have that. You could leave it like that. That's totally fine. But you can just simply draw a line in there for teeth and color all of this in. And all of a sudden you have this mouth with teeth. I can speak, you guys, I promise. And then another more complicated way is to draw like a jelly bean shape. That's the best way I can think of it, right? And so you curve it up and connect like that. You do that, the teeth here, okay? But here's another little addition, is you make a little bump right there for the tongue, and you fill all of this in, and you've got a laughing, smiling mouth with a tongue, okay, and teeth. So there's a variation of things you can do. Another one maybe is like surprised. Ready for surprised? Oh, it's just a dot. When you have the nose and the eyes and everything in there, you'd be surprised that that can make it look like someone is shocked or going, oh, whoa, what? You know, whatever it may be. So a little dot, that's it. Simple as that. But if you want to, again, get a little more complicated, you can make that dot a little bigger. Draw a line. Color in half of it. You've got the teeth, right? So there's one. And again, if you wanted to get to this level, you could have it be a little bit bigger. Draw the line, draw the tongue. And it's almost like maybe they're yelling now, right? Ah! Perfect. So there is another option. You could even draw a little squiggly line, and it could maybe look like they're sick, right? You could do a frown, right? We've seen the classic frown. Turn that frown upside down. Maybe it's a little less of a frown, right? And it's just a little half slant. It's not quite the full arch, but just a little bit of it. There's a lot of different ways to do this. Maybe you take something like up here, you know, you just have a little half smile, but maybe you want to draw a mustache. And so you just take it, and you just do a little swirly. And all of a sudden this character has a mustache. And you can do a bunch of different things. There are so many different ways. Maybe they don't even have a mouth. Their entire mouth is a beard or a little mustache like that. And it could be that simple. A ton of different ways to draw mouths. We will look at these variations and some others probably when we do the full faces. But for now, these are great things to practice. Practice drawing lines. Practice just changing up what that line looks like. Maybe practice making the mouth open and drawing a line through the mouth and getting the teeth and filling in the rest with the black. If you had a red marker or something red like a red pencil or something, you could color in the tongue to make the tongue more obvious. But these are some great steps on practicing how to draw a mouth. Okay, so we're going to do hair now, and I'll be honest. I struggle with drawing hair. I don't know what it is, but I have a really hard time doing it. And so my ideas are, because I don't know how to do anything too much better, but if you guys explore and get creative and you guys practice, I guarantee you that you guys will draw some phenomenal hair. But here are some examples, okay? So the first one with some of the drawings that we'll do, some of the faces, is as easy as just drawing some lines. So let's just say you have a guy and you just want to give him some hair. You can just do a little spike like that, okay? Maybe you want curly hair, and so you give him some curly hair. And what you'll notice is I slant down here because just like if you were to look at your hair, it goes towards your ears, right? It goes down the side of your head. And so I do that right here to show, because remember our characters are looking this way. If you can imagine some eyes and a nose here, right? So there's a couple options. Maybe they're bald and they have no hair. You could just simply do something like that. Or maybe they have some hair, but it's at the edge of their head and it's not at the top of their head. Okay, maybe you can get creative and you can do spikes that touch each other, going down like so. Okay, so that's an option, and again you can get creative, maybe put something in the hair, and then you have some girl's hair. You could do something more like curly girl hair, like this. This is much bigger. I don't know why I made that so much bigger, but I did. Okay, maybe you put a bow in it. You could even put a little bow in the hair, because that's pretty cool. Another option you can do is you can take a little, almost like a lemony shape, and you make it go out a little bit, and you want this one to curve all the way down. Draw a little line off of it, and floof. You've got some hair there. Again, I'm not the best at drawing hair, so I apologize if this doesn't look too great. But again, I think your guys' talent and ability will go far beyond my own, and you guys can do maybe a ponytail. Let's see if I can do that. So we got maybe a little thing of hair here. Maybe we'll have it go up and around. right? And so that could be the ponytail. Maybe it comes down a little bit like that. And so then you have the eyes and stuff like that there. But there's a ponytail option. Another way you could probably do a ponytail is if you do something like this again, a little lemon, another little lemon here, and maybe put another bow here because that's pretty cool. And a longer thing like that. So there's another option. But there's tons of different ways to do this. Maybe you want your hair to look like it's braided. So you do something like, well, I kind of messed that up, but you could do something where it looks like that. And it maybe looks like braided hair. So there's tons of ways you guys can do hair drawings. Get creative, have some fun with it. We're gonna jump into doing full faces, and that may help you kind of get a better picture of what we're working towards. So let's jump into that. All right, we're at the final stage. We're gonna draw some faces. I'm gonna explain a few new things, but for the most part, you're gonna see that I'm just pulling pieces of things that we've drawn already and putting them together into one thing. So you'll see I'll start with the eyes, I'll go to the nose, I'll do the mouth, I'll do the hair, and then I'm gonna show you two new things that will help bring the full picture together. So let's start with this. So once we've gotten to this part, we're just going to do a little, you're going to go right under the nose, you're going to take your pen or pencil or whatever you're using, and you're going to draw a little curve. And it's going to come down and it's going to be part of the neck of the head. And then you're going to go right next to that. You're going to go usually under the ear, but right now we have hair, so you're just going to go up like so. And we have our first face. Let's do another one. So what I drew the ear here. It's pretty much just a little U on its side, kind of like how we have one of the noses as that, but it's right there. And you're gonna again come over here. You're gonna draw a little line, and this time you're gonna go up to the ear, and you're gonna draw another line. We've got this guy. He seems to be a little sick or crazy right now. Let's do another one. We're going to keep going. We've got tons of different options, tons of different things that we could do. Okay, on this one you'll see that I was kind of all over the place. I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted this person to look like. So I was kind of going back and forth, and that's okay. If you need to jump around and you want to start somewhere else, that's fine. I wasn't sure how I wanted this person to look. I chose to give them a bald head. And let's do the neck now. Boom, just like that. Again, you can add things over time. Maybe at some point you want to give them a hat. You could totally do that. Let's do another one. Alright, here's another one. Again, I'm not so great with the hair, but I tried my best. And another little thing you can do, I've done 4 so far, another thing you could do that's really easy and a great way to change or show a different part moving down to maybe clothing is you can just do a little V right here. And it kind of looks like a collar. Maybe you do a little circle, half circle, and then off of the V by the neck, you just draw little lines down. Right? And it kind of looks like the body. And you can see how if you start with this, you can start beginning to create full people. But starting with the face is really important because it's where most of the personality and most of the expression is. So if you guys get this stuff down, there's no telling what type of stuff you'll be able to draw. So here are 4 faces. I'll do one more, but this is it. You take the things that we've been learning, you put them all together, and you make one phenomenal looking person. So I'll do one more. I'll see if I can get pretty creative here. Boom. There we go. So you can get really creative. You can have a lot of fun drawing things. Remember, you want to start with the eyes. It's very helpful if you do that. You want to then go to the nose. You want to focus on the mouth. And at the very end, after you've done the then you gotta go up to the hair or hat. In this case, you want to do the hair. I'll draw that too. And then you're gonna add the little details like I did. Remember, it's as simple as a little swoosh like that, and maybe a little higher one like that. And you can already see how that's like a jaw. Maybe you want the jaw to be more like a line like that. There's tons of ways you can do this, you guys. Get creative. I want to see the creations you've made. I want to see the people you've drawn. Okay, so practice, 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 and be sure to send us the pictures and things that you guys have completed. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let us know if you want more stuff like this in the future, but we are praying for all of you, and we hope that you guys aren't going too insane being home with family for so long. So praying for you guys. Have a great one.